Of all the weird calisthenics I do in the gym, muscle-ups are the one exercise I get asked about all the time. So many people want to learn them, even those who aren't usually into bodyweight training. They just look super cool, and no matter who you are, being able to pull one off has become a milestone of athleticism. Part of the appeal is how simple the movement looks. At first glance, it seems to be all about having brute strength and explosiveness. Because of this, many hit a roadblock during their training. There are a lot of people who are already capable of doing a muscle-up, but they end up stuck doing weighted pull-ups instead. This is because there's an unspoken level of technique involved. Today, I'm going to show you what a muscle-up is, the best training method, and how to pull off your very first one. And once you can, I'll also cover some tips on perfecting your form to get a crisper, cleaner motion. First, let's break down the biggest cause of failure. Despite the movements looking very similar, a muscle-up is not a pull-up. Many beginners think a muscle-up is a really fast pull-up combined with the dip. This conclusion leads them to taking the wrong approach to training, because when they fail to do a muscle-up, they don't think about the issues with their form and assume they just need to be stronger. I was stuck like this myself for months, doing sets of weighted pull-ups until I could do a full set with 65 pounds, and yet I was still struggling to do my first muscle-up because I misunderstood the movement. A muscle-up is its own unique thing, similar but distinct from pull-ups and dips. Don't think of it as 2 or 3 exercises added together, but rather as one flowing motion from bottom to top. Now, let's look carefully at both exercises. A basic pull-up is a simple up and down movement. All of the motion is happening on a vertical axis. There's no significant movement backwards or forwards. I'm just pulling straight down through my elbows and my body goes straight up. These are slow pull-ups. Now, I'll try pulling up as fast as I absolutely can. Just a sheer explosion of all my strength. As you can see, I fly upwards faster and a bit higher than before. But notice how doing the same movement ended up in the same result, despite the extra effort. I went straight up, my chin got above the bar, and not much else. This is clearly not how you do a muscle up. Let's look closely at a real muscle up. See how my torso moves backwards, away from the bar, as it moves up? And notice how my elbows bend? The movement is an arc, not a line. There are a couple things that happen to achieve this. First, I'm pulling down on the bar, while at the same time pushing into it. This drives my torso up and back simultaneously. At about the halfway point, my elbows begin to bend, and I start to push through my triceps to add even more force against the bar. I allow my shoulders to rotate forward and come to a pause at the top. Then I push up. Okay, so these muscle-ups had very tight form. Let's look at a more exaggerated example. Notice how I really swing back at the start. Again, I do this by pushing into the bar, driving my body back. The arcing pattern is much clearer here. The bigger the arc you make, the easier the motion is to complete. Now, to get you to better feel the difference between a pull-up and a muscle-up, we're going to do 2 demonstration exercises which you can follow along with at home. All you're going to need is a sturdy pole. Something like a broom will work just fine. Now what we're going to do is just start with a pole above our heads like this, and we're just trying to bring it here in front of our abdomen like you would with the bar during a muscle up. We're going to try 2 approaches to that. First, it's going to be similar to a pull-up technique. So all we're going to do is just bend the elbows and pull the bar straight down, right? So elbows bend, nothing else. Bring it as far as you can get it. And as you can see, the pull comes right around in my chest line. No matter how fast I pull that pole down or how much force I exert into it, it's not coming any lower than the chest line. That's just how the joints work. Now, if you imagine I'm on a bar trying to do a muscle up, you can see the problem there. I can't get it to where it needs to go. Now, we're going to try a slightly different approach. This time, we're going to allow the pull to arch forward. So, elbows bend just a little bit, and then you let the shoulders rotate forward. Do you see how much smoother of a motion that is? And do you see I'm actually able to get that bar where it needs to go? That's the difference in terms of technique between a pull-up and a muscle-up. The reason I'm explaining this at such length is that if you don't understand the difference between the 2 exercises, you're not going to develop the right training habits. You can't rely on just doing more and more pull-ups. You can't rely on doing really heavy weighted pull-ups or really heavy lat pull-downs because the form and the technique of those exercises is different from that of a muscle-up. Now, once you actually understand that and once you actually get a feeling for that, then you can start choosing the right exercises, training the right forces, and that way when you hop onto a bar to do a muscle up, you're not getting stuck here, you're getting up and over. Now, when it comes to training, you will need to work on two things, power and technique. While I have been emphasizing technique a lot, you do still need to be physically strong to do a muscle up. If you're watching this video, I imagine you're already there, but make sure you can comfortably do full sets of pull-ups. Minimum 8 reps, ideally 12. If you're struggling with these, you're not going to be able to generate the momentum you need to flick yourself up. You can check out dozens of videos on pull-up progressions, including my own. In addition, you should also train dips. I know this seems like the easy part of a muscle up, but you want to be confident in your ability to do it since it can get tiring after a few attempts. An easy way to measure your current strength is to try a few explosive pull-ups. Just yank up as fast as you can. If you're moving quick and feel light, you're all good. However, if you feel slow and heavy, you need to keep training. One common and very good tip is that training weighted pull-ups helps build explosiveness. A dumbbell or kettlebell at your feet is usually the easiest way to do this. But remember, all of this is only to ensure that you're at the right level of strength. If you are already, then there's no need to keep repeating these exercises. Now it's time to shift your focus towards practicing the correct technique. As I mentioned earlier, there are several motions that go into performing a muscle up. Let's break them all down and look at exercises you can do to practice them in isolation. The primary motion in a muscle up is pulling downwards. This is the movement you already train with pull-ups, so you should already be very familiar with it. Lat pull-downs also share this movement pattern, but to get you used to your own body weight, I recommend you focus on pull-ups. The most crucial and most overlooked motion in a muscle up is pushing yourself backwards. To achieve this, you push against the bar by engaging your lats. It's the same principle as doing front levers. The best way to practice this motion is as you see. Hold onto the bar and push against it through your lats, keeping your elbows locked. Your body should rock backwards as you push. If this is too hard, I recommend you take a step back and practice straight arm pull downs on a cable machine. It can be hard to get used to doing this, so take time to get a good feel for it. Finally, a complementary motion comes through my triceps. While I'm coming up, my elbows naturally bend. At this point, you need to engage your triceps to lock that angle in. This not only adds an extra pushing force to help you move upwards, but it also helps pull you back in towards the bar. The best way to practice this motion is with tricep extensions on a cable machine. Now, let's try combining all of these motions on a cable machine. First, pull down on the bar until your elbows have a decent bend in them. At this point, engage both your lats and your triceps by pushing against the bar to bring it down towards your hips. Get very familiar with this pattern. While it's not a one-to-one with a muscle up, it's as good as you can get with mimicking the exercise without actually doing it. Congratulations, you now know all the steps you need to perform a muscle up. You should focus on training several times per week. If you have to focus more on building strength, then doing resistance training 3 times per week will work best. If you need to focus more on technique, then practicing every other day or even every day is fine, as long as you feel like you're getting adequate rest in between each session. So, you have the strength and now you know the technique. All you have to do is get set up for your first muscle up. Let's first set up on a nice, tall bar with nothing above it. You don't want to slam your head into the ceiling or crush your wrists against a beam. Then, I recommend you use a platform to stand on. This way you can comfortably and securely set up your grip. I highly recommend you use chalk, even if you think you don't have particularly sweaty palms. Losing your grip is the absolute last thing you want to do. The stuff is cheap and it helps a ton. When it comes to holding the bar, I recommend you don't wrap your thumbs around and just keep them beside your other fingers. This allows your hands to rotate more freely as you come up. I also suggest you set the bar more towards the center of your palms with your skin sort of folded upwards. Again, I just find this allows for easier and more comfortable rotation. Since this will be your first muscle up, you want to give yourself assistance by swinging. I know this is not good form, but as a beginner, swinging is an extremely useful tool. It makes the exercise easier by building up momentum, which also results in a more exaggerated arc. These two things will help you learn the motion much quicker. You can worry about cleaning up your form afterwards. Build up some good momentum by swinging back and forth, and when your feet hit the apex of the swing, apply the techniques you've learned to arch yourself up. Pull up, push in, and engage your triceps. If you fail your first attempt, that's perfectly normal. Hopefully you will have gotten very close, or at least feel like you understand what you're supposed to do. Try adding extra swing and practicing a few more times. It may only take a second attempt or maybe a few more days, but eventually you'll land it. Your first muscle up is always the hardest, but once you do one, it's like flicking a switch, and the rest will come naturally to you. Even when you can do muscle ups consistently, there's always lots of room for improvement. The two main things you want to look at are increasing your rep count and tightening down your form. For the most part, both of these will come with practice as you build strength and endurance. Since you can probably only do 1 or 2 muscle ups right now, I recommend that you train with a higher number of sets and give yourself adequate rest. Plan for somewhere between 4 to 8 sets with 2 to 4 minutes of rest, depending on how many you can do in a single set and how fast you recover. Training 3 sessions per week will generally give you the frequency you need to get stronger, while also allowing your muscles to recover. Keep challenging yourself to do more and reduce your rest periods. As for form, you want to minimize swinging and pausing. This is an example of good form. You want to focus on generating momentum purely through your arms, rather than through swinging. When you get to the top, you want to make the push-up quick and powerful, without any pauses or sluggishness. When you get to the bottom, you want to jerk right back up, avoiding any hesitation or additional swings. Try to keep your core tight and avoid kipping. Hopefully this video has been helpful in teaching you everything you need to know about muscle ups. If you come up with any tips of your own while training, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. And remember, online videos can only teach you so much through explanation. Make sure you get out there, train consistently, and recover well.